Everybody, welcome to What the Flick, Season 2, Episode 7 of Better Call Saul, Inflatable. Alonso, Michelle, Meredith. Okay, well, the suit montage. We have to start there.
Oh, God.
You know, the costumer was like...
Yeah. I was like trying to gauge how much time passed. Because there were so many different suits.
Sure,
and I was
yeah,
like,
yeah.
but Kim's still there? And
Well, it's a campaign
Yeah.
of, you know...
I think also it was just a lot of him trying stuff on. I think it's a lot of like, I'm trying these on before I buy them. But
Which is the worst.
yeah, that was a Vince Gilligan moment at its best. Like I'm like, obviously this has been a Vince show all along, but this was everything I love about him and his directing and the AD on the show. And I'm sorry I've forgotten his name, but it is so beautiful and fantastic. And we saw Saul Goodman. Let's be honest. We've been getting glimpses of Saul.
Sure.
That was Saul being born in all the brightly peacock colors.
And I mean, I seem to recall that when he's on the bus in Arizona or whatever with the
sandpiper.
The sandpiper people, yeah. He's already wearing something rather sherbety, if memory serves. So.
Yeah, I think that's his style,
Yes.
and I love that he uses it to get out of the job, but also is just like embracing himself.
Yes.
Yeah.
And in that conversation him and Kim have about him, and he almost says yes. He almost says yes. I'll play by the rules, and then he's like, you know what? Like, it's not worth it.
Yeah.
It's not worth it if I can't be me.
And that's such a huge part for him because I think this episode is Jimmy learn. This is me. This is me coming into my own and me not compromising on myself. And I think it's also an important lesson for Kim this episode because Kim realizes I don't want to just continue working for someone else, even if it's a better someone else. But she also comes to understand Saul. Excuse me, Jimmy.
Yeah.
And she makes that not even that compromise, but she's like, I'll work alongside you, but not with you, but I accept you for you.
Yeah,
and
like
I love that.
When she
I
called,
loved it,
when she
yeah.
calls the guy Howard after the job interview, that's such a tip off. Like, okay, I realize now I'm trading one gilded cage for a slightly larger one.
Yes.
And so yeah, the idea that she can feel comfortable and secure enough to go on her own, and also comfortable enough to tell Jimmy, these are my terms.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I'm with you this far, we can share this much. But at some point, you got to do you and I got to do me.
Exactly.
And I thought that was the best compromise. I couldn't tell from his reaction. How do you think he feels about it?
Well, we were talking earlier that he doesn't like compromise, Jimmy.
Yeah, he wants it all,
Yeah. Yeah.
But I mean, I would hope that he sees the logic in this.
Yeah.
She's so smart in doing that because she would never be comfortable playing his way.
But she likes to do it on the off hours.
Exactly.
Sure.
And they're so great together as a couple, but the idea of her having to practice law in Jimmy's way, she's not charismatic in the way that he is. She's smart and she's logical.
And she has a different set of ethics.
Yeah, and that would just be putting Karen. Oh God, Kim. Sorry.
Wrong show.
Wrong show. Kim in the same position that Jimmy was when he was with Davis and Maine. So it's
Exactly.
not, and as she said to Jimmy, like, we're still together. You got what you wanted.
Yeah.
We're together as a couple. So I think that's what's important.
Well, and also they say like in a relationship that if one person is constantly sort of haranguing the other about like you got to do this, you got to then you become mommy, and there's nothing less sexy than mommy. So it's like she does not want to be the law mommy where she's like constantly riding him about coloring within the lines and not doing this and da. She's letting him do his own thing, and at the same time acknowledging A, that's not how I do it and I don't want to, and B, I don't want to get sucked down into whatever mess you may create for yourself down the road because of your methodology.
Exactly. So basically, what we're saying is Kim's awesome.
Yeah,
Oh,
Kim is
totally,
also
yes.
totally
She
awesome.
wins.
Also, so Jimmy's whole like, I'm going to get fired for just because I don't want you.
I can't quit, and I'm not going to get fired. I don't want to get fired for cause. I got to keep that bonus, so I'm going to make them get rid of me.
I absolutely, when he's got the juicer and he's like rubbing it on the guy's tie, I was like,
Oh, and bagpipes. I mean,
God.
bagpipes played well are already an acquired taste, but bad bagpipes, there's nothing worse.
But that was it was so great when he was walking back to get everything out, and just the one junior assistant, her face. I hate her so much. And
and he takes
I know,
that
so
soda
Ken-
into the trash.
Yep.
It was such a victory moment because I hated her. I love her.
No,
Yeah, I know,
that,
it's hard,
yeah,
but I hate
that she was
that.
so well cast for that face, just making that constantly like smelling a fart expression.
That's
She's
exactly
so
what it
great.
is.
Yep.
You know, and then we get Mike Ehrmantraut this episode. A little. I mean, what are we to make of this?
Whew, I don't know how I feel about that situation.
Yeah.
I don't.
Like, well, okay, so we see Mike and Jimmy, you know, we know they go to work together down the line.
Right.
Yeah.
But, you know, he helps him out now. Jimmy tries to give him this freebie, and Mike's like, nope, just bill me. Like, he's like, I want nothing to do with you, especially after that speech Jimmy gave him. Like,
And I think he's very much a guy who likes to keep his boundaries from everyone
Yes.
for
Sure.
his own
Yes.
safety. And I think he's learned to be that way. I think for me, the end scene was the most interesting because Taylor and I were talking about this, and he had interpreted it as him watching and observing the drug guys. I interpreted it as pulling up and potentially maybe going in and asking for a job to afford this house.
that's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
So I think it could.
Yeah, that's
What
that, and
I-
that's what great episodic TV does. You're like, hey, what? Another
Yeah.
week, you know.
What
So
I want to know,
Danger.
yeah, 'cause we know that Mike eventually breaks bad. We know that something causes him to cross his moral boundaries. That he, you know, the good guy cop who starts pushing it every once in a while. We know
The
that
chips have begun- the chipping away,
So
yeah.
what, you know, where are we going with this? And I'm excited. Like, you know, this was a less heavy Mike episode, but last week was a very Mike heavy episode.
Sure.
So hopefully.
and I think Mike drawing that line with Jimmy and being like, no, you know, I'm not down for this is an interesting contrast to Kim's sort of like, I'll go this far.
Yeah.
And then there's a line.
I just had an idea.
Yeah.
I always thought, for some reason, I was thinking that Jimmy brought Mike into things. I bet Mike ends up hooking up with Gus, and that's how Jimmy gets involved with all them. I think that's the way it goes.
Let's see how that plays
Yeah.
out. I think that, that's a good theory.
All right. And we've not seen the last of those suits, and 2 mentions of the Cocobolo desk.
Oh my God. And that's a beautiful desk. It still looks good. It
Yeah.
fits right in this little tiny box.
Even in that little hovel in the back of the nail salon, Lord, with all the suits around it. All right, great stuff. We'll be back next week. Thanks for watching.
No, that